Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, Siddiq is a character that was in seasons 8, 9, and 10 of The Walking Dead. He was killed off in season 10, episode 7. His character sort of had a major story arc in the show. Back in season 8, Carl finds him out in the woods. He's alone, he's dirty, he's just a lone survivor struggling to survive, and Carl wants to help him. And Carl spends time with him, and Carl ends up getting bitten by a walker, helping Siddiq with something that Siddiq cares about. And once Carl is dying and he's bitten and he knows he's going to die, he tries to help Siddiq even more. He tries to spend even more time with Siddiq, and Siddiq is sad when he finds out that Carl's dying, and it's this sort of this dramatic moment because Siddiq's telling Carl that he'll live for him. You know, he'll make his death meaningful. You know, he's like, I'll honor you, Carl. I'll spend my life honoring you and what you did. And in seasons 9 and 10, Siddiq is a doctor, and he's always trying to help people and do the right thing. He's kind of the moral compass up until his death in season 10. But his death had a lot of controversy because a lot of fans were angry that the character that was supposed to represent Carl's legacy, or at least a part of Carl's legacy, has died only 2 seasons after Carl himself died. And that Carl's death and Carl's sacrifice or whatever, that didn't really add up to very much. It didn't really leave a lasting impact since Siddiq died only 2 seasons later. But I found an interview on the internet, and I will put the link to the article in the description of this video. It's comicbook/TWD, I believe is the name of the website, or comicbook.com. But I'll put the link to the article in the description of the video. But the actor that plays Siddiq, Avi Nash, was asked about this, and he was asked about what he thought of Siddiq's death and Siddiq's legacy and whether or not it's good enough. And he's asked about what would he say to fans that are upset that Siddiq died only 2 seasons after Carl, when Siddiq was supposed to represent Carl's legacy. But I will go ahead and read out what he says here. I think it's really important to remember this is a show called The Walking Dead, and eventually everybody dies. We have to recognize it's been 8 years since Carl found Siddiq, and since then he's upheld his promise to honor Carl and Rick by extension, to try and live with compassion and mercy, and to create a better world. In Season 9, his mission was to bring the communities back together. In Season 10, he has a child. The ability to have a child in the apocalypse is unbelievable, and that's not something they had imagined way back when. Okay, so this is the part where he is asked about what would he say to fans that are upset about Siddiq dying 2 seasons after Carl. But this is what he says. I would just say to the fans, sometimes shit happens, but Siddiq definitely stayed true to his promise of honoring Carl. Hopefully he's been a character they care enough about and has been portrayed with enough sensitivity and depth that they will allow Siddiq to stand shoulder to shoulder with some of the other great characters. And they'll give him a place up there with them, looking down on the rest of the survivors. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, I pretty much agree with what he's saying here. I mean, his death, you know, it was a good death. I liked his death, and I feel like I do feel like he had enough. You know, he had enough material, and it had been, you know, timeline wise, it had been 8 years since Carl's death. Like, Siddiq spent 8 years after Carl died honoring Carl's death. You know, he did have that long. It might be 2 years in real life, but in their timeline, it's been 8 years. And I mean, for me, Siddiq, he was a good character, but I don't think that he was a character that, like, he's not like Daryl or you know, Maggie or Michonne, where it's like, holy crap, they died, the show's never gonna be good anymore. You know, I didn't feel that way. I think it was a good death, and I think he lasted long enough. Now, if it was like season 9, episode 1, and then he got killed, I would understand where the fans were coming from. But no, it was season 10, episode 7, and I think he lived long enough And he did get to do a lot. He did teach Enid to be a doctor, and Enid saved Aaron's life, and he helped people, and he gave that speech about how the people, the heads on spikes, they died together, they died as a family, and that they need to honor them by being together as a family. That was a huge moment in the show. That was a huge turning point in the show, and that was all Siddiq. That was one of Siddiq's big moments, and it was a very big moment. So I think that his death is okay. I don't think that he needed to live forever just because Carl died for him. I don't think we needed to see Siddiq in season 20. I think his death is fine, but that's just me. I'm sure other people feel differently. I'm sure other people are just like, no, he should have lived. But that's fine. Just I accept other people's opinions. Different people can have different opinions. There's no need to be like wild animals about it and be at each other's throats. You can just accept that someone else thinks differently than you do. That's the way the world is. It's not a big deal. So, for me personally, I agree with what Avi Nash is saying here. I think Siddiq's death worked, and it worked pretty well. And it was a cool moment in season 10. And I look forward to seeing how Rosita and Eugene and Gabriel, how they have to carry on and they develop past Siddiq's death. And I look forward to seeing what I'm sure will be some more ramifications of Siddiq's death in the back half of season 10. Just like how in season 4, Herschel pretty much died right at the end of the first half like Siddiq. And then the back half of the season, we had to deal with the survivors sort of carrying on with his memory and seeing the ramifications of that death. So I am excited about that part. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now I'm at 699 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 700, so just one more subscriber, one more person hitting that subscribe button, and we will be at 700 subscribers. I am so excited, so thrilled. I've been making videos on this channel since December of 2017, so two whole years, and we're at 700 subscribers. I mean, we're basically 700. One more, and we'll be there. So that's basically 1 subscriber a day. That's a lot. 700 is just a lot to me. I'm amazed and just thrilled and happy. Once we get to 700 subscribers, I will make a video celebrating that milestone, which I do for every 100 subscribers, so that will be coming up whenever we get there. But yeah, that's all I have for this video, so with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye!